Let's jump in and take a look how to get started. So there's basically three different types of cards. There's land cards, there are active cards, and then there are construction cards. So they've all got a bunch of numbers, symbols, different things going on. It's a little bit overwhelming, at least for me at first. I was like, oh, this looks really interesting, but what does it all mean? So this game definitely has a lot more depth, probably than any of the other wax games that I've seen out there right now. I think I hate the cliche, but this is a little bit more like chess, whereas a lot of the other games are just kind of checkers. This has a lot of strategy and different things going on. So anyway, your setup example, this would be kind of a full setup. You've got land as your rig, your foundation, then you've got construction cards, and then you've got active cards that are cranking out different resources or potentially cranking out NFTs for you. So your foundation, your land, let's look at the numbers and symbols here. So levels, you've got 1 through 4 to keep in mind. Grades, you've got common, rare, epic, legendary, and ultimate. Your resource multiplier, this is an important number to keep in mind. This is tells you how much of the resources you're going to be able to mine based on a formula that I'll get into. And then over on the top right, you've got the size, you've got which resource is the focus resource of this card, and then you've got an NFT multiplier, so another number to keep it in mind as you're looking for the value of cards. I do want to touch back on here. Level 4 out of 5 is obviously better than 1. But as you get to level 5 here, there's actually the opportunity to upgrade your cards from, say, this card is a legendary. If I reach a level 5, I can actually fuse another card with this one to upgrade to an ultimate. So there's some interesting things there that you can do. And then lastly, just down at the bottom here, the resources that this card has. So as a legendary card, it has 2. Most cards, at the common, rare, epic level, they're only going to have 1 resource available. But as your cards increase in rarity, your options increase as well. So most of the cards are going to be Fusium. You can kind of see the distributions here. All right, and then lastly, keep the rarity color in mind. These two are really close in color, so make sure to look at the L or the U to make sure you're getting the right one. All right, so a basic rig is going to be just at least 1 land and only 1 land, and then at least 1 active card or minor card. So that's your basic setup. There's no limit on how many of these you can do. You can buy as many survival packs or front posts or any of the other packs that have cards, or just buy a card on the secondary, as many as you want, and then start filling them up. So let's now talk about the active card or the minor card. So same as the land card, on the left rail or left top side of the card, you've got levels, rarity, and resource mining multiplier. Now it gets interesting over here on the right, where you've got the power and the energy. So these are going to be interesting for player versus player, which is not yet released, but today is November 4th. Supposedly the roadmap has it coming out in December, so supposedly I'd say maybe a month or so from now. And then you've got your NFTM multiplier as well, so that's part of the calculation to give you how much chance you'll have to get an NFT. The other thing that I just actually noticed the other day were these special icons down here. We don't really know what the purpose is, but I started noticing there's quite a few different ones, and apparently they will have some purpose. There's rumor that they will be used for something going forward. And then each of the cards has some details. Some of the cards are starting to show how you might combine this card with another card for a special boost and things like that. So keep on the lookout for those. All right, construction cards. Constructions are very similar to land in that they are essentially an extension of your land, but they can also give you extra slots. So You know, the common basic ones typically start out with 1 here, but as they increase, I think you can get up to 3 for sure, maybe 4. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. And then the resource of focus. For the construction cards, there is only 1 resource, so there's really only 4 types of construction cards right now, 1 for each of the resource types. And then you have your NFT mining multiplier. So the thing to keep in mind and kind of look for is, you know, what's your boost for the resource mining boost. So in this case, if I'm mining Fusium and I use this card as part of my rig, I'm going to get a 12% boost on my hourly output. All right, so bringing this all together, you know, again, let's just keep a very basic, simple setup. But with the 3 cards now, we've got a mining facility or a construction card, and then, you know, throwing that on one of our slots for this land card opens up 2 more spots, and I could bring now 2 active cards on that and have a pretty decent setup. So again, you know, you can have as many of these as you want. You know, fill out your rigs as best you can, and you know, taking it back to the beginning, a full setup, you know, might look something like this, where you've got your four slot card here for your land. So here I've got my my 4 constructions, and then each of these is going to have, depending on its slot, this one has 2, this one has 1, 2 and 1. So you can see, you know, how many cards you can start building out. So it's, you can grow exponentially depending on what you're doing, depending on how much, you know, you want to pay for some of these things on the secondary. Sometimes you can get lucky with opening a pack and getting a nice card with a, you know, say a 2 slot or what have you. But that's basically it, guys. The last thing I want to just cover off is the mining calculations. So for resources, the formula, it's when I first read it in the roadmap, I was like, okay, this is kind of confusing, but I just wanted to visualize it. It's actually pretty easy. So you take your resums for your cards, you add that together, and then you multiply it times the sum of your resums for your land and construction cards, and then multiply that times a fraction of the fuse, or the, you know, the boost output. So the mining bonus in this case is 12%. You just throw a 12 over 100, divide that, add to 1, and multiply this all together. So the end result is something like this, where you're getting 188.16 Fusium per hour. So that's, you know, that's a decent little rig setup. And then if you want to focus this, you know, this rig on NFTs rather than mining resources, mining Fusium in this case, you say, okay, I want to try my luck at NFT mining. So the formula is fairly similar. You're just going to add, you know, your actives together, multiply that times the sum of your land and construction on the NFT box number, you know, the one on the bottom right on all of these. So here you get, you know, 10 times 14, and then you divide that by 1,000%, and it gives you your NFT chance per hour output. Whoops. So you can, from the NFT mining, you can get either active cards like this one. You can get card pieces. You can get promos from partners, and you can also get these active card promo packs, so ACPP cards, which are really awesome. You know, sometimes can get really lucky with a really good card out of that. So that's it, guys. Check out Discord. Check out the game at NFTBattleMiners.com. If you have any questions, though, the Discord's pretty active. Look for the Training Grounds channel on there, and we'll help you get started. Take care.